What was your off season like? I know you had some exciting family news, but in general, how was it for you, and what did you work on with your game?
Pretty much the same. Always just focus on my shot and just getting better in each area that I can, stay in great shape. But mentally just recharge, spend time with the fam, and welcomed our second child into the world on September 7th. So some pretty exciting family news. So we were gearing up for that all summer as well.
Couldn't quite get to the 9th?
No, he wanted to come out on the 7th, so we weren't going to fight him on it.
James is gone, George is gone, so you are actually the oldest player on the team now too. Have you thought about what you'll have to do differently or the same as being a veteran for this team this year?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think at 31 years old, relatively young in my life, that I would feel old. But you know, I'm going to approach it like I always do. Be a voice in the locker room and a positive voice, and you know, if I see something, just say it. I feel like that's a big thing this year we're going on is accountability and not taking things personally, and that's from Tyrese to spot 15. So I'm not changing my approach at all. You know, Sticks made a joke that he was going to buy me a rocking chair. A completely unnecessary joke. I'm only 31 years old.
What spurred that conversation of like, all right, let's hold each other accountable. Let's speak up when you see something. Yeah. Even Miles is like, there's a couple things I let slide. Now, no more. I
feel like it's the expectations this year. I feel like we surprised maybe some of you guys, the fans, and especially some teams in the NBA last year. Caught some teams off guard by the way we play and how fast we play, and then that's not going to happen this year. I certainly feel like there's way more expectations from everyone I just named for us, and that's a good thing. You want expectations as a good team.
You had a career season last year. How do you take it one step further?
You just try to build off of it. And like I said, in the summer, just continuing to work on your game and getting here and just doing what the team needs you to do what the team needs you to do, and what coach and his assistants want you to do. That's kind of been my mindset my whole career.
How's the dynamic just changed by the fact that you guys don't have like James, George, some of those guys that were vets and kind of set that baseline for like last year? I mean, how's it different since they're not there, but also how is it different that it seems like a lot of guys took a lot of the things that they said and what they learned from them and are applying it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great point. Just because they're not here doesn't mean that what the stuff that they said goes away. Taking the stuff from a guy like James Johnson and George Hill, who have been in this league a long time for a good reason, for how good of players they are and the type of people that they are. You take what they say and you apply it to what we're trying to do, and obviously miss them, but their voices are still here, from what they said last year.
The level of competition, I mean, you could look at this and say, there's 15 guys on guaranteed, on full-time contracts, and you could make an argument that everybody could deserve to play. I mean, how, I guess, rare is that, in this league? Because you obviously a lot of times have some guys that are a little bit more established and whatnot. How do you think that's just affected the dynamic of this group, and what do you think that level of competition can do to help elevate?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obviously a good problem to have, right? Mm-hmm. And the competition part of it is just going to bring the best out of everyone. And that's the thing, we're all going to go into camp and fight and help one another, but it's competition based, but we're all trying to work towards a common goal here. We want the best for everyone, and we got great guys in this locker room. I say this every year, but our front office they bring in great players, but they bring in great people too. So that makes it a lot easier when you got good people in the locker room.
What does this team need to be better defensively this year?
Consistency. I feel like, we'd play well, we'd take 2 steps forward defensively, and then the next game take 3 steps back, and that happens with a young team. So I feel like just stacking consistent days together, and the addition of Coach Boylan, I think he's going to help our defense a lot, and just be on the same page.
a lot of this team is, less than 4 years of experience in the league, but at the same time, you talked about accountability. Everybody wants to win. Like, how do you blend those together and make a young team act like a veteran squad, basically?
I mean, you really got to learn on the fly, to be honest. I feel like these past 2 years, our young guys have gotten experience, and that doesn't happen a whole lot. But they've taken that experience and ran with it, and we're changing stuff and we're adding guys, and you kind of got to learn on the fly. But we got guys ready to do that here, and that's really what we have to do.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Chad was talking about kind of in terms of your role. It's probably back to what you've always played for, where you got to earn it. Everybody's counting you out. You got to, what is kind of your mentality entering this camp with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to go into camp and push not only Andrew and Tyrese, but the entire team, just taking the effort level and the expectation to another level. It's all competitive based, but at the end of the day, like you guys know me, I'm going to scratch and claw and fight to get on the floor, and I'm going to be supportive of every player on this roster, no matter what.
You mentioned Jim Boylan. What do you expect to be different? I mean, obviously you were a big Ron fan as well.
Yeah.
And obviously Jim was around as kind of a consultant last year, but what do you expect to change on a schematic level or on a level of approach? I mean, what are you hearing from him, and what are your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, I think losing a guy like Ron is tough. He was well loved in this locker room, and a great guy, and I consider him a great friend. But in the short amount of time that Coach Boylan has been here in the assistant coach capacity, he was here last year a little bit around the team. He's a great basketball mind. He really, really studies the defensive end, and by the way he talks about it, you can hear how smart he really is. And I'm really looking forward to continue to build, our defensive principles from him and go from there.
TJ, do you have a favorite rookie, or a rookie you look up to, or a rookie who's your favorite, or maybe the best rookie you've ever seen in your whole entire basketball career?
That's a tough one. None from this year really stick out. I would have to think about it, though. Yeah, this year it's kind of a dud, if you ask me.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Especially the
Have you actually played with him much? What are your impressions of him?
As you can tell, like, just a jokester, and like I said, I mean, I'm gonna say this all the time, just a great person, great teammate. Like, the front office just doesn't miss when it comes to bringing good people into this organization, and I mean, he's no different. You guys can tell.
How do you think, with his addition plus signing Bruce and also adding Ben as well, how do you think the front office added to this group defensively, which is the focus on that?
Yeah.
And feel like that?
I mean, I feel like as a whole, the front office's job is to improve the team, and they certainly did that. The addition of Bruce, who's a big part of a championship team in Denver, bringing him here and what he did on both ends of the floor for Denver is going to help us. And just everyone taking the step from last year to this year, and even Obi, trading for Obi. I mean, he's given us fits every time we played against him, and looking forward to having him play with Tyrese, Andrew, myself, with the way we get out and run. There's a lot to be excited about, and the growth of Ben, Drew, and Aaron, Jordan, Sticks. I mean, the list goes on. Isaiah. We've got a great group, and like I said, a deep group. So it's going to be fun.